New save music? I gotta be honest, I think I like the music better in the first game. Gotta be honest. But, hey, let's get into the first trial of the second episode. I can't believe that Mia made me use the interrogation jutsu on her. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's words. I heard it's his successor this time. It's very hard to say that. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He had a sick design, though. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks also he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they'll turn out to be. It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearl! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then, you came all by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't, if it takes 2 hours by train, oh man. Pearl, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? Atreyu! I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. He's the realist. I still remember him as though I had seen him only yesterday. Oh, dude! The music that plays when you have an Edgeworth Naruto flashback! Now this is a classic banger. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Objection! Objection, Your Honor! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought I would come up with a question at the time I said objection. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. Objection! Objection! It was always back and forth with them, but when you're rivals for life... Maya! Please don't mention that name ever again. Ever again? Why? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone and he's not coming back. What? What? What do you mean by this? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? He, like, moved to another country. Court will come in shortly. There's no way Edgeworth is dead. I know that Edgeworth has spin-off games. There's no way he's dead. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? I'd like to play the pursuit music again, Your Honor. Ah, yeah, there she is. Court is now in session for the trial of Mia Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? Ah, she does the same arm clutch thing that Von Karma does. That's great. What is with this kid? How old is she now? She's not on my list. Mia Fey, deceased. I think Mia was like 28 or something when she died. I can't remember. Ahem, Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Ah, yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright, you must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? No, actually, the internet let me know that well ahead of time. Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred Von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking. Wow, she really... Okay, so I knew she had a whip, but I didn't know that she used it on the judge in the case. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. She actually uses, I thought the whip was just like a prop, not something she actually used. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Ow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Okay. Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. All right, well, your dad is in prison, so. The defendant, Mia Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Bet. I feel so sorry for you. Von Karma got to be the final boss of the first game. You show up in, like, the first actual case, and I'm gonna end your entire career. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, this chick be crazy? I move that she be, like, thrown out in contempt of court for hitting me with a whip? Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yeah. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know that she uses the word fool a lot. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. Wow, she is just like her dad. There she is. She's only 18 now? She's the same age as Maya? What the heck? That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Yeah, but like if it was justified. How foolish. Nice little bow. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her dad. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Yo, my boy! Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. I want to say police precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. He answered your question. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. Bro should be saying yes, ma'am. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? Can you whippersnappers do that these days? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Yeah, the Honor also has a look of disbelief when we tell him that you can, like, save your progress on a Game Boy, so, you know. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. This is like the 8th time I've heard you say this, and I've seen you do like 5 cases. Floor plans added to the court record. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. I love that they gave Franziska the same, like, grabbing the... how she grabs the, arm of her shirt, like Von Karma does. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. I heard 2 gunshots. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Is it updated, though? After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point blank. Okay, but there are 2 gunshots. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. All right, Gumshoe, here we go. Dread cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead. Hold it. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe, whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? This is America! The point that you're missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints on a gun? Along with the victims, the defendant, Mia Fey's, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. Ah, I walked right into her hands there. Shot was fired from point blank, huh? Hold it. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh, she does the little hand wave that Von Karma does too. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Okay, yeah, she's really over the top with that. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Live and learn. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. Hold it. Stabbed? And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. A knife meant for fruits. I see. Whose knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the Fays, sir. And of course, Mia Fey's fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? Ugh, this does not look good. Ha ha ha! What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. Hold it! How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, would have hit his heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Mia had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Hold it. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. Okay, yeah, I get it. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Your Honor, is she allowed to have a whip in the court? Oh, what a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the two murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. Thank you. 2 shots fired, bears Mia and Gray's fingerprints. Murder weapon, a small fruit knife, belongs to the Fays, bears Maya's fingerprints. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there's no room left for doubt, is there? And that is quite true. Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. It's been 11 minutes, Your Honor. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I'd better think this through all the way. I do not think that this game would set it up to where Mia was a murderer. I'm pleading not guilty, and I'm putting no thought into it. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective! Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike. Yes, sir. Now see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Ruh-roh. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Are you sure about that? So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Mia Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Clothes Mia was wearing at the time of the murder, there are blood splatters on it. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Yeah, I don't see how we're getting out of this one, Chief. We'll have to use the interrogation jutsu. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Alright. Even more incriminating piece of evidence. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kind of scary today, you know, pal? Come now, Mr. Wright, there's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. What, no need for that kind of... There's a woman swinging a whip at us, bro! Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. This is the costume the defendant was wearing. Hold it! Maya's costume. Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? They didn't want to have to create another character profile for her. Hold it! Hold it! This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it's the victim's blood. So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time, let's move on. Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. What if I bite off more than I can chew here? What should I do? Nah, I'm pressing. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There's a bullet hole I just noticed on the sleeve. Must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. Yeah, there's a bullet hole on the sleeve, probably where what's-his-face shot at her, and it went through her sleeve, and then through the paper thing in the back. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it, but there's a hole poked into this outfit! Looks like my time is up, so about the costume, there's one little thing. You mo quay quay phải đi sao? You mo quay quay phải đi sao? Your Honor. Actually, there's something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Thank goodness I noticed that. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Is that a bullet hole, buddy? Take that! Take that! I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? That wasn't in the report. Hold on! What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Is the judge sniffing the outfit right now? Gunpowder? No one ever told me! A hole that smells of gunpowder. Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Now to pull at the seam. Your Honor! The only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole! Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder, press the check button for details, thank you. Sorry about that, I guess we messed up, sir. Yeah, she knew. Is she actually smiling? Oh no, this is the Von Karma classic! What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. They already told us that it was, yeah. All right, this is the last one to check, I think. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. I mean, doesn't the bullet hole in the outfit kind of show that he was fighting back because he took a shot at her? How else would that bullet hole be there unless he took a shot at her? It has two shots, one from him shooting at her sleeve and then one from presumably Maya shooting him in the forehead. Yeah, I think I just present this. Objection! Detective Dick Gumshoe. Is your first name actually Richard? Yeah? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. Seems you're correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. All right, the wind seems to be shifting. Ha! What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that Mia Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that's only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that why, that's right. Which means the defense is yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there's a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. An updated autopsy report? Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. All right, this is completely different from what you said before. This scenario you put together does make sense. Yes, sir. I thought you said that when the person was stabbed the way that they were, there was no shot of them being able to resist. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. All right, Gumshoe, let's go. Sorry I gotta do this to you, pal. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Hold it! There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. I like Von Karma's objection. Good voice for her. You think you could get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Mia Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Korean channeling technique, the medium physically changes. What? You know that, and you're also going to bring it up in a court of law? With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. Your Honor! She's bringing up magic mumbo jumbo? This is a place of law and order and logic? I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Korean channeling technique. Your Honor, I don't believe that this is admissible in court. Like I said before, I'm perfect. About what you were talking about? I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. The victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. All right, hold it. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. What if you think about the blood loss? He was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to get blood the other day. And afterward, felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. That's so mathematical. Ah! Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun! Gun! Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? How American. Was he taking precautions against something? Maybe he knew the nurse would have tried to attack him when being channeled. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. You would think it would be easier to hit when you're close. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. How did they get the gun from him? Maya's never fired a gun before in her life. You don't know that. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Yeah, it makes sense. Even me. I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes this look very bad. But there's got to be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. I do not know what the contradiction is here. I have no idea. What if I hit him with the interrogation jutsu? Yeah, 2 shots fired. That makes sense. I don't think it's gonna be the outfit again. We just used it. We can also use profiles as evidence now. I think it was Franziska. I have a history of the Von Karma actually being the one at fault. Dr. Turner Gray, I don't think there's anything I can show about you or Maya. Why is her hair so big? Huh. Oh my goodness. Sorry, had to get up early today. Yawning a little bit, you know how it is. Stabbed in chest, then shot at point blank. Gunpowder residue around bullet hole. Yeah, I don't know what they want from me here. Murder weapon, small fruit knife, belongs to the Fays, has Maya's fingerprints. Murder weapon, 2 shots fired, bears Maya's and Gray's. No, this adds up with what they have going on, so I don't see how I could use the pistol at all. Go back to the start. During the channeling, saw a chance to stab the victim. Victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Defendant picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Feel like it's gotta be something about... It's gotta be something about the knife or the gun, right? Would bringing up the folding screen? 8 inches off the ground. Is there something about, like, the... I know we need to use the key at some point, but I don't see how it's gonna mean anything here. Where are the crime scenes? I have, like, no idea. I have no idea. We're gonna have to run back through this. Hold it. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Added body strength seems unlikely. Objection. Okay, this is where she just talks about the, channeling. Yeah, crane channeling technique, nurse's build, yada yada. I don't think they want me to do anything here because the judge has no idea what the channeling technique is. I did check all 5 of these. There were 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did. I hit hold it on all of these, didn't I? So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he's probably hurt pretty bad. How badly? I went to get blood the other day. Lightheaded and dizzy, about 10 times the dizziness. Ah. Sorry. Okay, nothing there. Victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had it for that day, but a handgun. Got off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did he bring a gun? Was he taking precautions? It's like nothing there either. So you're saying the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was done. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Yada, yada. That little ... from Von Karma there is weird. Why is there a ... from Von Karma there? Is that the one that I need to press on? That was the 4th one? Has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. Safety off. You could do it just by pulling the trigger. Even me, I wonder. Now, do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes this look bad. There's got to be a contradiction. Uncovering that is going to uncover the truth. Okay, so the only thing that seems off is this one. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. How is him being too close making him miss if she was able to hit that close while being an amateur? But how would I convey that? Maybe by bringing up the autopsy report? Because it says that he was shot point blank, which means he was too close? Maybe? It's like the only thing I can think of. Unless it wants me to bring up the folding screen. Maybe like the position of the folding screen means that like the bullet shot is off. I feel like it's got to be something about the... This is what doesn't make sense the most. And also, this is the one that Von Karma has the ellipses at, where she doesn't say anything, but she's thinking something. Stabbed in the chest, then shot at point blank. But also, the victim took a shot, but because this is the only thing I can think of. Objection! This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement. I got it wrong. They aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Wright, please thank you for... Nah, that's not it. I really thought that was it. Victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. What am I missing here? I know the key is supposed to be like the key to the case, but I don't think the key is gonna do anything here. It is the folding screen? It's gotta be this, right? This is the only one that Von Karma acts weird on. I'm super lost on this one. I really thought that the autopsy would have been it, like, shot point blank, but also, like, the other one missed because they were too close. Doesn't contradict the pistol. I don't think it has anything to do with the knife. Okay, here's what I need to do. I need to just, like, eliminate all possible evidence. So, it can't be about the newspaper clippings. It can't be about the nurse yet, I don't think. I don't see how the whole nurse thing could contradict this. So it's not those. I don't see how it could be the guide map either. So let's say it's none of those. I don't think it's gonna be the key yet. It could be the folding screen? But this just further shows that he missed, I guess, or just that he took the shot. Like, I don't think it could be the folding screen, because the victim did take a shot. I don't really see how the layout would help either. I really thought it would be the autopsy, but it's not the autopsy. Victim took a shot, he missed, and then Maya took a shot, presumably. This has nothing to do with the knife. Does it want me to say that he didn't miss because there is a bullet hole in the shirt? He still missed, though, because he did not hit Maya. He hit her shirt, but he didn't hit her, because if he hit her, then there would be bleeding. Like, Maya would have been bleeding. But I also have nothing else to go off of. Unless I'm supposed to show a profile. Which I find very unlikely at this point in time. The only thing I can think of is it has to be the folding screen, or it has to be the fact that, like, he did like, he hit her sleeve. He didn't hit her, but he hit her sleeve. I don't see how either of those could be it, though, because, like, what does pointing out the folding screen accomplish? I feel like it accomplishes nothing. But also, like, he did miss. I mean, I've been sitting here too long. I gotta do something. I'm only down 2 life points. Let's present the costume again, and then if that fails, we'll present the folding screen, and then if that fails, I'll cry. Objection! Objection! Oh, the music stopped. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony! Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Yeah, because I actually don't understand either. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where's the gunpowder burn on this costume? Ah, there's no gunpowder burn. All right, that's really hard to notice. Holy cow. To pick up on that. To, like, remember the whole gunpowder conversation and, like, to connect that they didn't mention gunpowder. Didn't he say that it smelt of gunpowder, though? The judge said that it smelled like gunpowder. Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. All right, I kind of wish that the game had left me... I think this is the second time this has happened, but I think the other time might have been in the DLC case that I quit doing in the middle of it. I don't like when this game needs you to connect evidence that you can't look back at. Because I could not look back at the testimony, as far as I'm aware, where it says, like, oh, this is how, like, a point-blank burn area works. So, like, when I'm looking specifically at evidence to find words that contradict other words, I think it's really annoying when I can't see the thing that I'm supposed to be using to contradict, which I think is what's happening here. I'm not a big fan of that. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Ah! But there's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. I'm also not, like, gun savvy enough to know that there's not gunpowder burn here. That's a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. What was that animation? Well, then. That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I have to be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Well, obviously something doesn't make sense. I have to figure out something here. Do you know how long it took me to figure out that line of questioning? I can't come up with anything else. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Ow! Very interesting. I'd love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Ooh, is there? is there, buddy? Like, is there? Like, she was standing there, he was right there. She shoved him, and then he shot at her? I mean, that could totally happen in this setting. Is this where I use the folding screen? Yeah. Wait a minute. How do I explain this? If she pushed him, that means he fell to the ground, presumably, because he, like, had a stab wound. He must have fallen. But if she was standing, and he shot from below, and it hit her sleeve, the bullet would have gone upwards, towards the ceiling. But this bullet hole is 8 inches off the ground. That means he would have to be standing, be taller than her, take a shot where the bullet was aimed down, so that the... Yeah. I'm a genius. I'm so smart. I'm gonna be so upset if this isn't right. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I'd like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Dude, how many holes are in this testimony? Ah! Why does she move like that? Looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who, where, what? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? Hey, don't hate on my boy Gumshoe. The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Oh, that does not match my explanation, but I used the wrong formula to get to the right answer, chat. Order! This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. She has to be in between him and the bullet, right? So, like, why would she be there instead of, like, right there, though? I guess she would have to be, like, around here. Take that! Take that! Somewhere around here. Uh-oh. The judge's face is scrunched like he just smelled some serious bad breath. What? That is, Wait! I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. What? Sure. In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright. Wait. Of course, whoops. What's done is done. For now, I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. Wait. I don't understand how I was wrong. Was she just in front of him? But there's no way he could shoot. It has to be in between, like, this V and the bullet hole. Was she, like, all the way over here? Take that! Take that? She was standing here near the folding screen. Okay, so she was, like, near the folding screen. Okay. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's impossible. Oh, it's impossible because of the burn thing. Man, I've got to remember that burn thing for this entire case, I guess. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there'd be gunpowder burns present. However, there's nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You. I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? Yeah, it absolutely does, because if she's way over there, and he's over there taking a shot at her, then unless she, like, ninja threw the fruit knife, then there's no shot that she stabbed him. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Mia Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Nah. Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oh. Don't hate on my boy Gumshoe, he's doing his best, man. All right. With this, the rest of the trial should be in the Oh no, she's doing the finger wag. Blast radius of disaster. You're such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Oh no. Chad, I think we're in there. Let's make a bet, Von Karma. If I win the case, you have to take me out to dinner Friday night. If you win the case, I'll take you out to dinner Friday night. Seems fair, right? Fair? Seems fair. Ugh, of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Why does she have a whip? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it all my fault? Dude, poor Gumshoe catching strays. You can start repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Or 3-strand. And rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well, no, you know, maybe Gumshoe's into it. Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. But my poor boy Gumshoe! I think it's time to call in the next witness. Holy cow, there's more witnesses in today's trial? Next witness, that's gotta be a lot of— No! No! Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Oh, it to be continued, okay.